Hi, boys and girls. We have been learning about point of view. We read about Cinderella and we learned a lot about Cinderella from her point of view in the story Cinderella. Well, now, since we're learning about point of view, we're going to read a story from the wicked stepmother's point of view. Doesn't that sound fun? Sounds interesting. We're going to read it from the wicked stepmother's point of view. So this story, maybe I should read it like I'm the wicked stepmother. Maybe I should say, "Serious, Cinderella is so annoying." Or seriously, Cinderella is so annoying. As told by the wicked stepmother. It's written by Trisha Shaskan and illustrated by Gerald Guerlais. I hope that you enjoy the story from the wicked stepmother's point of view. Get ready for Seriously, Cinderella is so annoying. Seriously, Cinderella is so annoying, as told by the wicked stepmother. Written by Trisha Shaskan and illustrated by Gerald Guerlais. You must have heard of me, the wicked stepmother? Not true. It's just one of Cinderella's wild stories. Not as wild as the one about the pumpkin and the fairy godmother. The real story, the true story, began with some chatter and some dust. All I ever wanted was a husband and a mansion. Before I married Cindy's father, my two darlings and I had met Cindy only a few times. The girl seemed normal then. After I married Cindy's father, my darlings and I moved in. When I had just one foot on the front step, my dear husband kissed me goodbye and said, "I'm off on business." He leaves often, Cindy said, "but the animals stay put. They talk, they joke, they sing, they even help out, especially the bluebirds." Now, I don't mind a story, but I like facts, not fiction. Soon the girl was talking all kinds of hokey-pokey. "Once upon a time," Cindy said, "one of the bluebirds became blue, but not the color blue, the feeling. His friend had flown south." My darlings and I were struck near the front door. I just wanted to put away my bags, and that's when I saw it. Dust! Dear, is the whole house this dusty? I asked. I don't know, Cindy said. I'll give you a tour." In the dining room, Cindy told stories. In the study, Cindy told stories. Non-stop. "Girls," I said, "time to get to work. This place needs a good cleaning." "Once upon a time, when I was cleaning," Cindy started. "Oh, boy!" Cindy mopped the floor, but she finished just so fast. My darlings had barely started. "Did you know robins and sparrows are my friends?" she said. "But the sparrows don't like the robins. Silly creatures. Once upon a time, one of the robins—" "Cindy, dear," I said, "why don't you go and wash your clothes now?" But Cindy washed them so fast. How on earth did she do it? I had to find another chore for her, just to keep her busy. If there's one thing squirrels love, it's washing clothes, Cindy said. The rats, though, would rather iron. One day Squirrels and rats doing laundry? Quit telling such foolish stories, I said. Time passed, but nothing changed. In the garden, Cindy told stories. In the kitchen, Cindy told stories. At dinner, I couldn't hear myself think. Dear, please, I said, stop talking. But Cindy didn't stop. One day a letter arrived. It was an invitation to the king's ball. The prince would surely fall in love with one of my darlings. Then they would marry. They would live in a beautiful castle, and one day be king and queen of the land. Oh, stepmother, I have to go too, said Cindy. Once upon a time, a girl and a prince. And then, just like that, Cindy lost her voice. Imagine! It had to be from all that storytelling. Well, what could I do? I told Cindy she had to stay home. For her health. She cried, of course, but a ball has no place for a sick girl. She needed to rest. Sometimes it's hard being a stepmother. At the ball, my darlings twirled. They whirled. But then some strange girl waltzed in. Her gown was magnificent. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I wondered how much it cost and if my seamstress could copy it for me. The prince and the girl danced and pranced. My poor little darlings were left princeless. A few days later, the prince made an announcement. The glass slipper had been left at the castle. The prince would marry the girl whose foot it fit. A big chance! After visiting every other mansion in the neighborhood, the prince valet arrived at our door. Me, said one of my darlings. No, me, said the other. One at a time, said the valet. Each girl tried, but the shoe didn't fit. Then Cindy pushed out a whisper. Please, let me try. The shoe fit! Cindy pulled the match out of her pocket. What? My darlings cried. Cindy pushed out another whisper. She said something about a pumpkin coach and mice that turned into horses. She even added a fairy godmother. Please, there's no such thing. But I still don't know where she got those shoes. A few days later, the prince married Cindy. Poor man. He has no idea what he's getting himself into. But we lived happily ever after. Okay, if you notice on this last page, it says think about it. Read a classic version of Cinderella. Now look at the stepmother's version of the story. Can you list some things that happened in the classic version that didn't happen in the stepmother's version? Then list some things that happened in the stepmother's version that didn't happen in the classic. How are the two stories different? Most stories of Cinderella tend to be told from an invisible narrator's point of view. But this version is from the stepmother's point of view. Which point of view do you think is more honest? And why? If you could be one of the main characters in this version of Cinderella, who would you be and why? The stepmother or one of the stepsisters? Would you be Cinderella or the prince? How would other fairy tales change if they were told from another point of view? For example, how would Hansel and Gretel change if the witch told it? What if the baby bear in Goldilocks and the three bears told that story? Write your own version of a classic fairy tale from a new point of view. And remember that a point of view is a way of looking at something.